because that's what I said. You can have the best coach in the world, but if you're physically not feeling great, even Rafa there on the side can't really help you so much. So yeah, those things change over the years. Of course, when we make that final, the next step is okay, I can win the Grand Slam next year. Little did I know that it will take me 13 years later to even make another final. Right? But the best part of that is, I had a great team by my side. Not only that, my wonderful wife who's sitting here, as you introduced psychology, indirectly I feel like there was some counseling there. Every time I spoke to her and brought a few things, and it gave a great perspective. And for me, just sustaining yourself, being relevant with those guys at that generation kept me going and was able to achieve, this Grand Slam and finding the right partner and able to do that. And that is how every single time it kind of changed. It was not just, I definitely would be wrong to say that I woke up, tried tennis and I said I'm going to win a Grand Slam and become world number one. That is not the case, especially coming from Cool.
That's excellent life journey and great. At the end of it all, we will witness Rohan Bopanna.
Yes,
thank parents, thank life, and thank yourself. Like the current Russian tennis lady girl, Mira Andreeva. She first thanks herself. First thanks herself, then thanks her coach. So first you have to thank yourself for doing all the right things. So my big question, all of them will obviously have this, is the cool quotient of Rohan Bopanna. He's never broken the rackets, never abused the umpire, never hit the ball to the line boy, and cool guy, always smiling. I've seen him in the venues also, in Dubai and many places I go to watch his matches too. He's a very cool guy. Now, tennis or any sport is, according to the experts, I don't mean, 60% may be talent, 40% is temperament. You need to be cool. Especially tennis. Tennis is the only sport in the world which doesn't start on the time that is being specified that it will start. Because the previous match, we'll always say followed by. We watching the television, we get impatient. When is our team, our match coming in? These guys are waiting. You don't know whether they'll go to the treadmill or they will still be stretching or they're going to have a food or a snack. Nervousness builds around that time. If you watch Nadal's Netflix, he in one tournament goes to toilet 12 times before the start. And Carlos Munoz asks, why in this tournament you only went 5? He says the toilet, the water is not coming anymore. So they're nervous. But Rohan is a different guy. How did you manage that? Before the psychologist came in your life, somebody else came in as well. What did you do that?
I felt, yes, there are times, of course, you feel very frustrated, especially with your own self, in the way you're playing, and few things. When you're not playing well, always the line calls against you. That's what you feel, especially on a hard court, even though, the referees could be right. And I said, there is no point taking that frustration to them. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not really going to help. If I want to take out all the frustration, I can go outside the court, go and close doors and say whatever I want. And also, having said that, there's a lot of fine if you end up breaking a racket or abusing on court. And at that point of time, I'm just trying to manage the journey. I don't think I was ready to afford some fines on the court. So there were a lot of things you need to think through. Coming in that journey. So that kind of helped me a lot in terms of understanding. Okay, I'd rather hit a serve a little bit 20 kilometers harder and take that frustration on that ball than somebody out there, and that actually helped me significantly.
Tremendous. When you've been always reputationally known to be a cool customer, both on court and off the field. I believe people complain to you if the coffee is not good in whichever tournament, independent of the fact whether you were giving freebies or not. So how did you manage relationship off court at the highest level of tennis? If anybody, even so many interviews we hear the biggies of the tennis world talk. Movement, they say India, they say Rohan Bopanna. Of course, India has witnessed great tennis players, but you are on the top of the radar of all these greats, and you I think have made a great mark. So what is your, I mean, you deliberately go out, reach out to great players and be heard, or they come to you because you have a boom boom serve and they want your support, and have you deliberately done relationship building work?
Yes, I actually have constantly found a way to go into locker rooms and be social with the players. I felt if I have to tomorrow play with somebody doubles, I had to be comfortable with them off the court first. And that relationship I built significantly. Yes, coffee kind of helped coming from Coorg and starting my own coffee blend. And I gave a lot of coffee to all the tennis players. Hence that comment came from them whenever the coffee was bad, because they never thought India actually produced coffee. And I said, let's take coffee beans to these tennis players. So it's one way we get to know at least India produces coffee, and they all have, I think 70-80% of the people have coffee. At least in the men's locker room, I would say 80% of them have tried Karnataka's coffee beans. That's for sure. And I said this is a great platform for me to kind of build, and it helped me tremendously communicating with them, trying to be a great friend with them, and we all go on that same journey week in, week out. The calendar is already kind of set from January to November. So I think I told myself very early, it's better to have friends than enemies in the same locker room. So so that made it much easier, for me to get along with each and every one. And anytime, I wanted to find a partner and I was struggling with a partner, I could go up and reach out to them, and a lot of them were very happy to, play doubles. And I think that's the biggest strength which I picked up on the tennis court.
I have only two more questions, then the audience. Is that the right thing to do? So, when you set up this academy and started to train kids, absolutely noble. What you're doing now will have far more impact than India having produced a great athlete called Rohan Bopanna. It actually amplifies whatever you've done and then what you could do now. So again, when did you say, I need to give it back to the sport, maybe what I am, world champion? And how did you think of training people, quote unquote, underprivileged, make them come here along with everybody else? And I know what you're doing in that space. So what is happening there, and what will India see from that academy?
Yeah, I built, as well, I know a lot of you walk through today, see the tennis courts here, there are a lot of kids playing. We built the Rohan Bopanna Tennis Academy 10 years ago. One of the reasons I wanted to build it that early while I was playing is that I would have access to the coaches and the players first hand straight away. Today when I'm retired, you're constantly then trying to message somebody and then you feel obligated, maybe you're disturbing them. This was much easier for me. I mean, a lot of the coaches were there. I could sit with them for a cup of coffee, pick their brains on what we could do and how we could build it. And it's been a fantastic journey. And from the time after I retired last April, we moved here at the Center of Sports Excellence. I think it's the best center in the country today, and to be here, it's a great space for us. The underprivileged program, thankfully, a dear friend of mine, he said he wanted to support tennis, and through the Kamal India Foundation, and he said, I would love for you to set a program for the underprivileged. So 2 years ago, we actually went to Assam. We went to two tribes called the Majuli and Bongaigaon tribes, and we just on athletic ability, we tested about 400 kids. We picked up 27 of them. We brought them to Bangalore, and we provide boarding, lodging, education, and tennis. Last year we went to Jammu and Srinagar, and we picked up 10 more. And the next 3 years, which the plan is to get over 100 kids, 100 underprivileged kids from different parts of the country, and I want to unite them with tennis. I want different states to be in one place, uniting them with tennis, because underprivileged kids is never given an opportunity for an individual sport. I've never seen that before. They give them for education or just for a sport, but not all put together. And this has been really incredible. I mean, it's for us. I think it's been a lot of learnings. I mean, for the kids to go to school every day. When they came here from Assam, they among themselves they spoke in 7 different dialects. Today they speak Kannada, they speak English. They are so confident. They came to watch the Davis Cup and Fed Cup, and their first thing is, "Sir, hum bhi ek din khelenge yahan." The drive is just incredible. It's heartwarming to be around them. There's a great energy every single day for even the coaches. For our coaches today, they don't come up to us to be saying that, we need a salary increase automatically, because they see these kids, they see how much they are giving back to also to their kids. They also see that there's so much value to them. So the entire team is really overwhelmed with this journey, and we're really looking forward to picking up more kids. And I keep picking Vivek's brains on how we could build more things here, because if we are getting more kids and the tennis is getting built here, I think it's a great sport. It teaches failure from a very young age, teaches you to find solutions on the court straight away, so that you can always adapt to your natural day-to-day life, and it makes you independent. And I think there is no better sport to be playing, and for these kids it's been phenomenal. And they go twice a year. We send them home twice a year. Their parents come here. A couple of the kids don't even have parents, and they go back to an orphanage. I wish I could change that maybe, but they're so young. So sometimes I think what could be the better angle to that, and how we could work towards that. Yeah, but it's been incredible. Thankfully, I have a great team, managing so many different things. I'm also doing an MBA in sport marketing currently from the La Liga Business School in Madrid, because I thought, why not pick their brains to understand how they have built football for such a long period of time, and maybe this way I get a diploma to maybe build tennis. And thankfully Suresh sir has been helping us, part of the foundation. And this is what I feel. I think sports or sportsmen, sport athletes all deserve an opportunity, and we always look at it. My wife told me this: don't look at it as a limitation. Whatever age you may be at, you look at it as an opportunity. Right? We are always told at our homes that 25 this has to happen, 30 this has to happen. You need to get married at 30. You need to have kids at 32. You need to so this has been told to us constantly. So if we change the narrative of saying today we have this opportunity to give back to the sport. I mean, tennis has taught me such amazing things. So I said, why not give it back to these kids? And one of the reasons I came here to this center was because when I was growing up, 14-15 kilometers a day on bicycle would have never happened if I had a center like this. Yeah. This is what we have. We have everything under one roof. We even have a psychology team for these underprivileged kids, because I think it's absolutely necessary, for so many difficulties they have been through. And so this has been a real passion for me, apart from just teaching the pros to become champion. Also an underprivileged journey where, who knows, maybe they take tennis to a scholarship in the US, or maybe turn pro. I mean, that would be absolutely incredible. And that's the small journey we have started from tennis.
No, I'm really happy to be associated with this academy. It's most fulfilling than doing my executive work or investment platform that I run. This has been very fulfilling because of the love for tennis and love for Rohan Bopanna is really uninhibited in our thought process on what we can contribute. Some more thoughts, Rohan. I had asked this question actually to Sachin Tendulkar. Okay, I had asked him, look, you're walking down the ramp in, say, Melbourne Cricket Ground, and you have to face McGraw and Brett Lee on the other side. Okay, after maybe 30-40 minutes, if you've survived, then comes some Gillespie and then Shane Warne before lunch. Are you nervous? Would you feel that there is some cold shiver in your spine? You get nervous. Would you sleep the previous night? So similarly, if you have to face Brian, I'm sure you did, right? Or the doubles, Mike and Bob, and so many big players. Even your when you became world number one, those people were ranked higher than you. Whatever those names were. rank higher. So, so will you be nervous, or what would you speak the previous night, or will those shots keep getting replayed? Will you keep saying, oh, I need to stand a little bit on the left side of the net, or more tandem, or I serve this side, that side? Pre-plan, or everything is playing out at the spur of the moment when you are playing the ball?
First thing I know, never till today, thankfully, touch wood, I have problem to sleep.
Very nice.
My wife keeps saying, how is this possible? I mean, 3 minutes maximum, I'm completely out. So that actually helped in many ways.
Yeah.
Yes, when I played the Bryans for the first time, I was kind of nervous. Or when I played Roger Federer for the first time. But after that onwards, I was like, I'm playing the same tour. I'm there to compete and I belong here. And the minute I used that narrative, I knew that they were also going to have a tough match against me. They had to bring their A game in order to, win that match on that day. And tennis, the beauty of it is anybody could, win at any given time. And I really believe in my serve and my aggressive style of play, and that really put a lot of pressure in, no matter who I played against them.
Yeah, this is exactly what Sachin said. Interesting. I always recall exactly what he says. I play for India. So he was trying to tell me, the questioning guy, that I'm playing for India. I'm ahead of millions of aspirants who wanted to play for India. Why nervous? Or should he be nervous? So when I walk down, I look at the sun, look at the feet placing, practice some shadow shots, go and tap, and then I look. McGrath should think, oh, what this fellow will do today. He should be a bit nervous. And after one or two shots, when I get in the middle of the bat, then he is nervous. Then I look at Juan. I look at it, virtually asking him, when are you going to come? So Sachin really reoriented. If at all, when in my small profession, if I write a book, Sachin told at the end, it's never about you. Never think about you. You're already the top guy. You're playing for the country. You're playing your own Bopanna. You're not thinking about your own weakness. You're thinking about the other guy's limitations, even if that fellow is a great player. No? Is that something?
Absolutely right. I mean,
that's something version of what.
For example, in the Australian Open final, I knew it was Vavasori's final. Even though Bolelli had won a Grand Slam, Vavasori is making the final for the first time. I had not won a Grand Slam, but I had been in the final before. So I looked at it more, say, not about them being seated higher. I was like, Matthew and myself got more experience on that day, and I think we were more ready to win on that day.
Yeah, brilliant. Last question, and then I'll throw it open to the audience. So, who's your pick? Rafa, Novak, or Roger? And you need to pick one.
I mean, with you wearing that cap, it's tough to pick anything else. No, I think for me, Roger Federer, because of single-handed backhand, that's something I love. But I think if I had to say who's the best among there is Novak, without a doubt. Yeah, but
you're diplomatic. So I'm glad that I had this another opportunity to interact with him. It's never over. You call me middle of the night, I'll come and see Rohan Bopanna. That's the nature of the beast that we're sitting with. I will stop here and let my fellow colleagues chat with him. He's informal, you can ask him anything. Always, yeah, go ahead.